weeks we have witnessed an unprecedented escalation between Israel and Iran, two regional powers that, despite decades of veiled hostility, are now facing each other more directly. The curious thing about this situation is that although it is perceived as a head-on conflict, for many years it has been a shadow war or a proxy war, where both countries acted through third parties. Iran supported groups such as Hamas and Hezbollah, while Israel carried out covert attacks, sabotage, and even assassinations of Iranian nuclear scientists. This recent direct outburst marks a significant change in that dynamic. One of the most intriguing curiosities is how this conflict, which has been going on for years, has its roots in Iran's 1979 Islamic Revolution. Prior to that, and contrary to what many might think, Iran was one of the first countries in the region to recognize Israel after its formation in 1948. There were even diplomatic and commercial ties. However, with the advent of the new Iranian regime, Israel was declared an enemy, a little Satan, alongside the great Satan, the United States, thus breaking decades of a more pragmatic relationship. This radical shift completely transformed the geopolitical landscape of the region. The U.S. meddling in this conflict is, to say the least, complex and full of paradoxes. Despite being Israel's main ally, the U.S. administration often finds itself in a difficult balancing position. On the one hand, it supports Israel's right to defend itself and shares concerns about Iran's nuclear program and its regional influence. Indeed, there have been times when, indirectly, U.S. and Iranian interests have coincided, for example, in the fight against terrorist groups such as ISIS. However, Washington also seeks to avoid an all-out escalation that would further destabilize the region and put its own troops and allies in the Gulf at risk. An additional curiosity about U.S. involvement is the nature of its support for Israel's defense. During the recent Iranian missile and drone attacks, Israel's sophisticated air defense, such as the Iron Dome system, was crucial. But it did not operate alone. It was directly supported by U.S. forces and other allies in the region to intercept a significant portion of the projectiles. This demonstrates that although the official UN position has been to avoid direct involvement in hostilities against Iran, its commitment to Israel's security drags it, de facto, into active involvement in defense. The line between support and direct involvement becomes increasingly thin. Finally, the Israel-Iran war exposes an ongoing tension in U.S. foreign policy, the quest to contain Iran versus the risk of being drawn into a full-scale conflict. Recent White House decisions, such as assessing whether U.S. military forces will join Israel's strikes against Iran, show the delicate tightrope on which